What's going on, guys? So in this video, we are going to talk about the recent MSRP increase that Pokemon has thrown into the ring. It's definitely got a lot of implications, right? So, well, first off, we've got a guest star on today's show. Just got a haircut, so I figured he looked pretty cute and can join us along in this discussion. Does that sound good, Yorios? I think he's down with it. So here's the thing that's interesting about the MSRP increase with Pokemon. Well, first off, there's going to be an MSRP increase. This is already on the website. There's pre-orders going on for the Scarlet and Violet set that's soon to release. And it's going to be $160 or maybe even $165. Here's the thing. So booster boxes right now, Silver Tempest and Brilliant Stars are $143, I believe, on Pokemon.com. So they're selling booster boxes for $20 more when they still have the booster boxes that are $140 on the website. Now, this is very good strategy for Pokemon, and here's why. If booster boxes are about to be $160, right? And they've got boxes for $143, what do you think is going to happen? People getting into the hobby are going to go for the value first, and I feel like they're going to clean out that old stock of Brilliant Stars and Silver Tempest. I would not even be surprised if in the next week, all of the Brilliant Stars and Silver Tempest was gone, because people are going to realize very quickly that we don't know what we're in for with Scarlet and Violet. We don't know if the artworks or the quality or the borders being silver instead of yellow. We don't know how this is going to affect the supply. We don't know if we're going to go into a recession and there's going to be a scarcity of Scarlet and Violet. We have no idea what's going to happen at the end of the day, right? So best thing you can do is just prepare. And I think a lot of people are going to be buying Silver Tempest and Brilliant Stars as a result of that. And there's Lost Origin too, and there's Astral Radiance as well. So there's multiple sets from these past 2 years that are still on the Pokemon website, despite Scarlet and Violet being here in the next 2-3 months, whatever. That being said, why is this good, bad, and just downright ugly? So it's downright ugly. I'm just going to start with the ugly first. It's downright ugly because it's just like, I don't even know if it's warranted. I don't know if they're doing it, like, it's certainly not really to help the consumer. It's certainly not to help the retail investor. There's going to be selfish motives. It's corporate. It's they're for profit. They're doing this, in my opinion, just to make more money. And while they might also be preparing for the new economic environment, you know, if we go into a recession, you know, potentially, you know, they're accounting for inflation. You know, the cost of the boxes are going up, and it's not necessarily that, you know, it's going to cost more or the cardboard is more print. I don't feel like there's a good enough reason for why this increase is happening, other than, you know, potentially inflation. So it seems kind of ugly at first glance. Like when I first found out, before I even checked on the website and saw for myself, when I first found out that the MSRP was going to be increasing on, you know, certain products, you know, particularly the booster boxes, which are a staple to investors and collectors in the hobby. And it's not just Pokemon. It could be Dragon Ball Z. It could be One Piece. It could be anything. Booster boxes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster boxes, Digimon. Booster boxes have always been a staple of these card game investments. It's very important that those are consistent in their cost, and to jump from 140 to 160, or in a lot of cases, we saw booster boxes of Fusion Strike going for $89 on the secondary market. Now that's the secondary market. You know, I just started using Pokemon.com, checking MSRP, so I'm not fully aware. Is you okay, buddy? I'm not fully aware that, like, what the MSRP was for Fusion Strike, Battle Styles, Chilling Reign. I can't tell you what those were because I was buying them off of eBay for probably less. I was buying those booster boxes for 90, 100, 110, whereas they were probably on Pokemon's website for 140. Now, at this point, 140 looks like a pretty decent price point, right? What? Do you have something to say? See, it's making Yorios. Yorios is getting stressed out. Yorios is getting nervous about these price increases. See what it's doing to people in the hobby? Um, but 140 now actually, going into the good and the bad. It's bad. Prices are going up. That means you're going to get less and pay more, right? That's the main bad part about this. But there is some good in it as well. Yurios, if you're gonna hyperventilate, I'm gonna sit you down here, buddy. Okay. Are you ready to come back up here? Do you want to come back up here? If prices, it can be good for a number of reasons, right? So, even if it wasn't a good deal to get Sword and Shield for 140 before, now Pokemon strategically has made it look like you're getting really good value by buying. Do you want to come back up here? Okay, that's what I thought. Now, Pokemon has made it look strategic and made it look like it's advantageous to buy booster boxes for 140, right? Like, and even for the investor, it's looking advantageous. Like, if I'm like, damn, like booster boxes are 140 now, it really doesn't seem like all that much, because on the secondary market they're 140 or more a booster box. So right now buying from Pokemon actually looks like the move. On top of that, if you know a set's coming out that's going to be more expensive, you're probably going to fall back on these sets that they have on Pokemon.com for 140. Now, so that's good, because it makes you feel like the average retail investor and collector feels like they're getting some value. It's okay, Yorios. It's okay. I know the MSRP increase it's affecting us all. As a long-term investor, this is good news, because this means that all of your booster boxes, in a lot of ways, will be now worth at least 160, which is nice, because if you're getting, and it's damn lucrative for the people that bought Battle Styles and Fusion Strike and Chilling Rain for $90 a booster box, right? Because now if Pokemon is going to 160, and this doesn't necessarily mean those booster boxes right off the rip are going to be worth 160, but my point is, if the standard price for a box is 160, why on earth would you sell your booster boxes for less than 160? So it's going to be good for the people that have been in the hobby and investing in it. What? Oh, thank you. It's going to be good for people who have been in the hobby and investing in it. But like Yorio says, this is not going to be good for the new investor. This is not going to be a great environment to come into for the, person who's just starting to get into the hobby, for the kid that just wants to start collecting Pokemon cards. It's just like every other niche in the collecting world as far as like Nintendo goes. Someone commented yesterday that video games have gone up astronomically, that you used to be able to get a handheld or a Game Boy game for 20, 30 bucks. Relax, buddy. You used to be able to get a handheld game for 20, 30 bucks. That's out the door now. Now you're spending hundreds of dollars to get a handheld, hundreds of dollars to get the old Game Boy games. The same, I think, is happening to Pokemon, and it could be really detrimental moving forward. If the prices of boxes are going to be that much more, a young kid getting into the hobby, I don't think they can afford $160 for a booster box. And maybe this is just a part of they're seeing, inflation and where it's going and the value of the dollar. Maybe there's more to it than I'm seeing, but the average collector is not going to be happy about this. And it's going to make it very hard for people to get into the hobby. Not to mention, even those of us who have been in the hobby for a little bit, I've only been in a modern for the past 2 years, where I've been collecting vintage for like 3 or 4. Even for those of us that have been in it for a while, it does two things. It reinforces me to just collect and invest in vintage, because vintage is not going up in price, right? It is over time going up in price, but for the most part, a lot of vintage product is going to be stable, whereas modern just keeps getting more and more expensive. Now, I don't know. Is is the price of Scarlet and Violet booster boxes being 160, could that potentially affect the price of a base set unlimited booster box? I'm going to set you back down, buddy. I'm going to set you back down. Is it possible that that could affect the price of an old school booster box like the ones behind me? I don't know. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it that it has that kind of effect. But I'll tell you right now, as far as all the boxes that came out, you know, Evolving Skies and Astral Radiance, and you know, I've got, you know, all the ETBs that came out, the Charizard UPC, like all these products that have come out with Pokemon increasing the prices. I think in some ways maybe it could please the average retail investor, because they're like, oh wow, I was buying all my booster boxes for 90, 100, 120, and I thought that was a lot of money. But now Pokemon's asking 160. And on top of that, boxes are on their website for 140 from Sword and Shield. So should we get those? And my answer is honestly, absolutely. The prices are going to 160. You're going to just have to work with it. There's no way around this. You're just going to have to work with it. None of us are going to get any better deals than 160 unless it's on the secondary market and someone really needs money. And I just think at the level that this hobby has grown, I don't see people letting booster boxes go for much less than the retail. I just don't see that really happening. What I see happening is everyone across the board bidding. If it's on the secondary market, not on Pokemon.com, but if it's on eBay, let's say, I don't see anybody bidding less than like 140, 150 for a booster box now, considering the fact that all boxes moving forward will be 160 or more. And, you know, with that being said, does this mean that in the next year or 2 years or the next era, they're going to ask for 180 a box? Is 200 right around the corner? Yorios, buddy, you want to go out? Okay, I'm gonna let Yorios, because I feel Yorios feels like he's like imprisoned in the game room with me. Come on, buddy. You want to go outside? Go on. Okay. See what these MSRP increases are doing to my little Maltese. You see what they're doing? Yorios got so stressed out talking about Pokemon increasing their MSRP that he just left. He just left the room. No, but seriously, I was going to talk about this on the live stream last night, but I just felt like it was very video content worthy. Like, I know there's going to be a lot of comments on and speculation and theories on what's going to happen with the market. And all that is speculation. But what we know for sure is that boxes are going to be 160. Like, where do we go from here? It's like, it's a huge turnoff. Like seriously, I'm not looking forward to buying a single box for 160. I don't care what happens with the price. The price to enter is getting ridiculous. If the average person probably makes 500 to 1,000 a week, then just to get my hands on 2 booster boxes is going to be half my money. You know, just to get my hands on 4 booster boxes is going to be all of my money. Or for somebody who makes a little bit better of a living, you know, 40, 50 grand a year, let's say, that's going to be their whole paycheck. That's going to be half their paycheck, and then bills, everything else. You know, Pokemon is not leaving us with a lot of space to open stuff up, right? Like, at this point, it seems like investing is one of the only strategies that's going to work with Pokemon. Now, what's interesting is now there's all these influencers, there's people like myself, there's Pokemon YouTube channels. Is it potentially a response to all of these channels? Because these channels are the ones buying out all the product. You know, maybe Pokemon is like, I know that all these streamers and YouTubers are going to buy all of our product. You know, not to say specifically they were thinking like this, but there's more demand. There's way more unnatural demand than there was before. There aren't lines of kids waiting to get Pokemon cards right now, but there are lines of dads, OG collectors, resellers, scalpers. There's lines of these people looking to get all this product, myself included. You know, I'd like to get 10, 20 boxes of each set, each expansion, each whatever. So when you're talking about these prices going up, I don't even see the people that want to buy a lot of product and sit on it. I don't see them being happy with this. And it's funny because Rudy at Alpha Investments has like a $3 million Pokemon position, and he's bought a ton of sealed cases of all the sets that came out this year. Right now, Rudy is looking like a freaking genius, and I'm pretty sure he had some knowledge probably about the MSRPs going up and said to himself, look, if I buy cases of these sets and I'm getting cases for 5, 6, 700, then I'm getting it for less than 140, which is what's on Pokemon's website. On top of that, they're going to push it to 160, which means all of my cases with 6 boxes, it doesn't even matter what set it is, because as time goes on, these older sets become more valuable. This is history repeating itself. This is not rocket science. If you bought a bunch of garbage sets, let's say like a bunch of battle styles, you can still argue that those sets are going to be 140, 150, 160 a box. And if he's confident on this, if people are confident on this that are big time collectors, then they can say, oh wow, all those sets that people ripped on, all the sets that people said weren't good sets, it doesn't really matter, because from an investing standpoint, from the people that want to collect one box of each set that are just starting to get into the hobby, they're like, I have to have this box, I have to have this box, I have to have this box. There's so much product out there, but more and more you have people that have a lot of the product. So kind of a monopoly, so to speak. So if someone has a bunch of battle styles, they got their boxes at $80 a pop, and they're not planning on selling those boxes for anything less than $160 a pop, then they've 100% gained on their money in literally a year or two. On top of that, their cases at $160 a box, 6 boxes a case, that's 600, 6 times 60, that's 360. You're talking $960 for a case of Scarlet Violet off of Pokemon.com. 1,000. Okay, Aspen just woke up. I'm sorry, babe. I think she's been asleep for a little bit now, but it is what it is. We're about to wrap up this video anyways. $1,000 for a case of Scarlet Violet. That's insane. That's horrendous. That's ridiculous. That's absurd. Okay? Think about it this way. I bought Evolving Skies. I bought a case of Evolving Skies for $1,000, and I felt like that was the biggest ripoff ever. And this was, Evolving Skies had already been sold out, had already been kind of out of print. The reprints had already come. It was over. I was like, oh my God, I really need to get more of this set. I bought I bid on a lot of single boxes. So I have like 6 or 7 single boxes of Evolving Skies, and then I've got my case of Evolving Skies. I wish I would have bought way more, but oh, hello. You want to say hello? My daughter's coming over to say hello. You guys did not witness that baby talk. You did not witness that. It's a Pokeball. Look, say hello. Say hi, everybody. Oh, that is so cute. It never gets old. It never gets old. Say hello, everybody. Aspen, what do you think about the MSRP increases? What do you think about that? Exactly. Exactly. That's how people think. That's what people are feeling about this MSRP increase.
Her face.
Money is all relative, right? It's a means to an end. As time moves forward, people are getting paid more. Oh, wait, no, they're not. People are not getting paid more. People are not getting a better wage as time goes on. People are getting screwed. The economy is not great. It's not that I'm just being negative here. Like, I think that the sets will still do well. I think people will still buy them, myself included. But I'm definitely turned off by the new MSRP. And to me right now, I feel like it's signaling a scramble to get as much Sword and Shield product as I can off of the Pokemon website, because it's $140 a box. It's $20 less a box, highlighting a lot of good value. Now, what could be good about these price increases is making sure there's plenty of product for the masses. And I think that will be the case. But when you pay $160 for a box, after tax, you're at $176. Almost $180 after taxes. With shipping, if you're going to buy from a secondary seller, it's going to cost probably $10 to ship that booster box, if not 20, or 15. So you're looking at more like 196, 197. And then you're looking at the sellers having to make a little bit of money on top of holding that product. Even if it just comes out, even if Scarlet Violet booster box is just released, let's say that everyone completely buys them out on the website because Pokemon is more hype than it has ever been. There's more people in the hobby than there's ever been. And I'm feeling pretty good about starting a YouTube channel right now because everything is taken off and I'm looking like a pretty smart guy. Pretty crazy too, albeit. If Scarlet and Violet does clear out, then the next frontier is going to be the secondary market. And you think people are going to be taking 10% on the secondary market? Think again. Think higher. Think 20. Think 30. 10%, even 10% would be almost $20. So again, we're really, really close to if the box is $160, it's probably going to be $220 fairly quickly. There are going to be people that are like, no, that's not going to happen immediately. That could take a couple months for it to get to that point. But I'm talking strictly about you buy the boxes, you're a retail buyer, and then you're going to flip it, because you think it's so easy to sell Pokemon product. You buy that product, you spend almost $180 after your taxes, and then you got to ship it out to somebody else. You're going to want to make at least $20. And $20 is not worth shipping a booster box out. It's not worth it, in my opinion. Just hold on to the product for a couple years, and then at least the value of it will be a little bit more warranted because you're like, okay, I held on to this for a while. I invested money like a stock, and I held on to it. I made a longer position, and now I'm getting paid for it. That makes sense. So it doesn't make sense for people to just take 10%, which means I think people will more likely than not be taking 15, 20%. On top of that, eBay has increased their fees. So eBay increasing their fees goes hand in hand with this. It's just the margins for selling Pokemon are getting less and less, and maybe that's what Pokemon Company is going for. Maybe they're aware that they're increasing their prices. eBay is increasing their fees. All of these seller platforms are increasing their fees. You've got shipping costs. It's just going to get harder and harder to make money on modern product. Now, that's not to say that it won't be easy to make money on singles. The raw singles could be really good value. If a box is all that money, it might be better for people to just rip open the product. Maybe they get some valuable cards, and then they flip those, and then the shipping is super cheap. So you at least are going to save money on shipping going the singles route. But guys, there's so many variables to this, and it's seriously cramping my style. It's putting a huge damper in how I see myself collecting moving forward. The only thing in my mind is just buy as much Sword and Shield as you can, because Sun and Moon was never something that I was dead set on having. I didn't care about Sun and Moon. Even looking back into the artworks and the cards that were in that set, I really don't feel like we've had any really good sets since the last Gold Star cards. And I think that was maybe 2007, 2008, 2009, something like that. I know that we had Gold Stars from 2003 to 2007. Did they go slightly past 2007? I don't know. I'm not an expert. I know a lot, but I'm not an expert. I don't know. What where's my point going with this? Yes, Sword and Shield. It's just, I love Sword and Shield. I maybe it's biased because I'm in this era, and I think this era is one of the best eras to get back into the hobby in, and I got back into it at the beginning of this era. So like Sword and Shield has been really good to me. Now, in terms of like values, now from a opening standpoint, from ripping open packs, no, Sword and Shield has not been good to me. I did not get crazy pulls. And I want this information. If you're watching to the end of this video, which we're really wrapping up, but if you're watching to the end of this video, I opened thousands of dollars worth of modern sealed product of Sword and Shield, and I did not get any crazy pulls. Now, granted, I was a sucker. I bought a ton of packs from retail places. I should have just gone to my local game shop or looked into where they could be and bought booster boxes. Or at the very least, I should have gone on eBay and continued to just buy booster boxes and open that product. Even though sometimes I did get some pretty cool pulls out of the singles. But they add up so quickly, and then before you know it, you're spending just as much as you would have spent on a booster box. And at least with the booster boxes, the sealed value is really going to go up a lot more than I think the single packs. But I just think Sword and Shield has been really good to us as far as investing goes. I don't know if Scarlet and Violet can pull that off. With these prices, I just don't know. People need to make more money. You know, to be spending more on these sets, people need to be making more money. I just think a huge chunk of the market just got alienated with 160. And that's going to make streamers, influencers, sellers, that's going to make everybody nervous because you know, you want to promote the product, especially if you're selling it. And I sell vintage, so it really doesn't affect me at all. I sell mainly vintage products. So I really don't care what happens with the MSRP for the most part. It made all my former booster boxes from Sword and Shield worth more, arguably. And it just means that maybe there won't be as crazy of a drive to buy this stuff, which means I can go at my leisure and pick up a box when I feel like it. We won't know till we know, right? You know, I think Sword and Shield, I think a Scarlet and Violet base booster box set, I think that could sell out immediately because it's people are going to be craving the new sets and seeing the EX artworks. And there's Arcanine and Gyarados in the new Scarlet and Violet booster box. And I'm super excited about those. But I think, honestly, I'll probably just buy the Gyarados and the Arcanine myself and buy sealed Scarlet and Violet. Everything for me is no doubt going to be sealed moving forward because 160 is just a crazy MSRP. But I think, you know, for people that are promoting this product and like doing YouTubes where they're opening a bunch of packs, how do you think that's going to make everybody else feel when they can't afford $160 booster boxes, but you're opening them like crazy on stream, on camera, whatever? Like, yes, it's fun, but it's also redundant and it's depressing for the people that can't afford to buy product like that. And our channel is small, but I know a lot of people have this sentiment and feel the way that I feel about the product going up in price. It's like I'm already struggling to get a case. You know, I'm already struggling to get a box of each set. You know, it's already an arm and a leg to buy cardboard. They're going to make it 160. So right now, I know a lot of people that are strategizing, and so they're buying a crap ton of Sword and Shield booster boxes. They're buying a crap ton of Sword and Shield alternate art singles because they're predicting that, you know, it's just going to be different from here on out. We're not going to have the yellow borders anymore. And, you know, people are very nostalgic and very true to their roots. And a lot of people are getting back into the hobby around Sword and Shield. So it's just going to be madness, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think I covered pretty much all of my thoughts on the MSRP increasing. I'm not even crazy about the two kind of legendaries of Scarlet and Violet. I couldn't even tell you their names. You know, maybe that makes me a bad collector or a bad Pokemon enthusiast, but I'm not all that jazzed right now about the first box that's going to be hitting with Scarlet and Violet. I'm more excited about the Gyarados EX and the Arcanine EX, or whatever those are going to be. It's just I'm excited to see some classic Pokemon back in these sets. My local game shop owner told me, you know what Pokemon needs to do? They need to stop developing so many new Pokemon, and they need to give life and pay tribute to the old Pokemon over and over. They can always come up with a new artwork for the older Pokemon, and it just makes it better for collectors. There's less options. There's so many Pokemon out there. How can you possibly even pick a favorite? But, you guys can let me know what you think. Do you like the fact that there's all these new Pokemon, or do you think that they should have been a little more consistent with the original first couple of generations? Ever since, Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, I've just been out of the loop. In getting back into the hobby, I really have no urge to be buying that stuff. I mean, Diamond and Pearl is pretty cool, but I just overall don't have any urge to buy that stuff. I'm sticking with vintage. Vintage has done me very well. I'm very comfortable with it. I know a lot of people are getting into modern and alternate arts. You can get really, really good condition stuff because these sets are coming out and they're recent. So you're going to get your best bang for the buck right now, and you're going to get the best condition cards right now. I might be screwing up. I might be making a massive mistake by not loading up on alternate arts. They're just so expensive. Everything's so expensive, and I'm more of a collector. I would rather my channel grow and allow me to collect things that I like rather than try and play this game of like guessing when the market's going to change, guessing what cards are going to be the best buys, or even just hoarding up a lot of this stuff. Now, I will say I'm guilty of buying the Crown Zenith Suicune. I think the Suicune is amazing, so I am guilty of hoarding those because I ordered a couple of those in already. And I told you guys that I wanted to make a video on this, but I didn't. That I'm buying all the Crown Zenith, Suicune, Galarian Gallery artwork cards, which, if you don't know, let me just get it for you. I don't consider... Oh, I just really hit all these cards. I really need to reorganize this table. This is getting so ridiculous. There's too many cards, and it's just... This is crazy over here. Yeah, this is getting so out of hand ridiculous. It just literally shifted this whole stack of cards and probably damaged half of them. I don't consider this Galarian Gallery a Galarian Gallery. I just consider this another alternate art. I think the Suicune is absolutely outstanding. This artwork to me just looks incredible. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. The artwork just looks incredible on this card. This is really one of the only cards, like, I like specific cards. So for me, let me refocus that. For me, this year, as far as like finding something to invest in, as all these other products are coming out and people are distracted, the Umbreon from Evolving Skies, the Moonbreon, I think that's a good one to stock up on if you can afford to. The Charizard V alternate art from Brilliant Stars, I think that's an amazing artwork. All the alternate arts are really nice, but for me, there's only a few that I think will stand the test of time and really go up, exponentially in value. The Suicune from Crown Zenith, the Galarian art, I think it's outstanding. Already, I was bidding on anything under $30. Already, all the bids that I lost went above $30. They're itching closer to $40 right now, and before you know it, the only options are going to be $50, $60, $70. The Suicune is phenomenal from that set. Trying to think what else. Blaziken. Blaziken from Chilling Reign is fantastic. That Blaziken, I think, is going to have a lot of value down the road. Stock up on those Blazikens. I don't know about you, but Gen 3 was a big time in my life as a little kid, and Blaziken was one of my favorite Pokemons. At first, I was like, a fire chicken? They're giving us a fighting fire chicken. How dare they? And now I'm like such a sucker for Blaziken. I thought Sceptile and Swampert were like the coolest things since sliced bread, but I thought Blaziken was kind of lame. And now, like... So this is how I know that Pokemon can change over time and people can adapt and enjoy new artworks. So maybe I'm wrong in thinking that they should just repeat the old artworks and give them a new format. you know, maybe there is room for new Pokemon to grow, but they haven't grown on me yet. You know, Chimchar, Turtwig, Piplup, they just haven't grown on me yet. I think those could grow on me before the new ones. Fuecoco, Quaxley, Pokemon's getting on my nerves as far as these starters go. But I think they're going to do great. I think the future is very bright for Pokemon. I think we got to strategize. People got to come up with a plan here for how to move forward and the best things to buy and the best things to invest in. Otherwise, you're going to be left way overpaying for retail products that won't go up in value for a long time. Now, I only say that particularly with Scarlet and Violet because the MSRP is going to be 160, which again, like I've said, with taxes and shipping, you got $200 right there if you want to get it on the secondary market. It's just going to get wild. Don't be surprised when you see Scarlet Violet booster boxes for $200. That is going to be very normal. It's not going to be an indicator that prices are going up. No, it's not. They're just going to be passing on the cost to the next person. Anyways, that's a wrap up of this video. MSRP has me nervous, but the dollar is just getting less and less. Like it's becoming less and less useful buying these sets. But anyways, I am pretty sure after this video is uploaded, and get some viewership, I'm pretty sure we are gonna hit that 1,400 mark. So be on the lookout for me to do possibly a live again tonight. I kind of want to celebrate a live because I love hanging out with everybody. I really do. I don't want to just do a video opening up some packs. I would much rather do a live. So we're gonna be opening up some Silver Tempest with you guys probably tonight because I do think we're about to break 1,400 subs. Let's go. Anyways, as I lose my voice, peace out, guys. Thank you for all the support. Seriously, thank you guys so much. From my ridiculous car videos where I'm talking about my cars having problems to now me showing my workout routine. You guys have supported me through the entire journey, and I really appreciate it. And y'all's words and comments and engagements mean so much to me. And I don't know how I could ever repay it, but I'm just going to keep trying to make my best content. Grandpa Joe, we are going to try and get that Discord up and running, okay? So that's the next thing I'm going to look at right after this video is getting the Discord up and running. Also, I'll be checking out the P.O. box today for the first time ever. I doubt there's going to be anything in there, but we've got some errands to run anyways, so we're going to check out that P.O. box. And who knows, maybe when we do the 1,400 subscriber celebration, we'll have some stuff from the P.O. box to show off. Peace out, and I hope you guys like the Dragon Ball Z shirt. I think it's a pretty sick artwork for the shirt, and it kind of gets me in the mood for working out, getting those gains. Anyways, peace out, y'all. Have a fantastic day.